It's Get Up on a Football Friday. Greeny, Tannenbaum, and Bartholomew Scott. Here we go. Let's do some of the interesting games on this Week 2 slate. And we start with Zach versus Dak, Jets and Cowboys. Dallas a prohibitive favorite. How do you see it?
Listen, I think the Jets can keep it close. I think running the football, we don't know if they fix that run defense. Michael Parsons is going to be a problem, but I think you run at him, not away from him. That's what you do to great players. I think this Jets defense can keep them in the game. And we don't know if Zach has changed those problems, those woes that he's had from turning the football over. This Jets defense is going to put pressure on him to see if he has.
What do you think?
Bart, they better run the ball, because I'll tell you this, if Nathaniel Hackett throws the ball, he's flying home commercial, and I'm going to fire him in Dallas. That is unacceptable. You got a great defense. If the Jets lose, it better be because Dak Prescott beats that great defense, Greedy. It is unacceptable for Zach Wilson to lose this game.
Not one?
It's an interesting perspective. Well, you can't
even throw an incompletion.
If your defense keeps you in the game, then you need your quarterback not to take you out of the game.
Yes.
Quickly on just how the Jets bounce back from what has been a devastating week. I know it's a quick turnaround. Some have suggested that might help them.
I mean, it was a gut punch, but remember this team last year with a healthy Breece Hall and a healthy, Vera Tucker, what they were able to do going and winning some early games. So, listen, what I found out when interviewing Garrett Wilson is that Zach hadn't had any snaps the entire week. So I want to give him a pass and see if he's made those adjustments. Let's see if the Roger effect can take hold and see what he can do. I'm going to give him opportunities to kind of throw deep passes to kind of loosen that defense up. Dallas's kind of philosophy has to be to put 8 to 9 men in the box.
All right, we'll see about that one. Let's go to a huge game in the AFC North. Bengals trying to avoid an 0-2 start against the Ravens. Mike T, how do you see it?
I like Cincinnati a lot. You know, we were dealing with 2 C's with Joe Burrow, the calf of the contract. Both are behind him now, and Baltimore is really beat up really early. 2 offensive linemen, a great left tackle, Ronnie Stanley. Mark Andrews seems to be 50-50. J.K. Dobbins is out. Yeah. I think this is a big matchup for both teams, and I like Cincinnati.
Well, this pains me, but Jamar Chase is going to get off. T. Higgins struggled the first week. I think they played the Baltimore Ravens very well. You think about no Marlon Humphreys, injuries in the secondary. I think it's going to be tough sledding for Baltimore, but you never know. Lamar Jackson can decide to put on the Superman cape and do special things now that he has weapons. Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham. Don't know if Mark Andrews is going to be up, but I tell you what, if that happens, it'd be a surprise to me.
I thought that it would be a surprise to you if he plays, you're saying?
No surprise to me if the Baltimore Ravens can get the dub.
I like the way they looked in the second half last week.
I was there. They start off slow, and they're stuck between. I think they still need to do some of the things that Lamar Jackson was good at last year, and let some of those runs be part of what he is. It seems like in the first week you had quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, not being who they were last year, trying to protect themselves. And that's not them at their true self. You got to let them be playmakers, and sometimes that's putting themselves at risk.
Let me get 2 more in quickly. Chiefs at Jaguars. Most interesting game of the week in a lot of ways. Mike T, how do you see it?
Big bounce back for the Chiefs. They're going to get back Travis Kelce, presumably, and Chris Jones. This is almost a must-win, guys, because you don't want to go 0-2 so early in the season. That gives everybody else in the conference a little ray of hope. So I thought Jacksonville's defense was good. I was expecting better against the Colts. I think this is a big bounce-back week, and I like the Chiefs big.
Not so sure, right? When you think about Jacksonville, I think this is a revenge game from last year. They played well in Arrowhead. They just couldn't make the plays because they didn't have the playmakers. If you look at Calvin Ridley, he looked like one of the best receivers in the game. Zay Jones. So I think, listen, this is the Trevor Lawrence era. I think he's going to come back strong. I think they can compete in Duval, that heat. We'll see if this team is ready to compete and be able to win some of these elite games. But I think this is Jacksonville's year to kind of take that next step.
I do, too. I think they're going to be the 1 seed in the AFC in that division. Quickly, the Sunday night game in Foxborough. Big one in the AFC East. Dolphins, Patriots. Talk to me.
Got the Patriots. This is going to be a great matchup. Credit the Miami Dolphin offensive line to go on the road against the Chargers, not give up any sacks for Tua. But I think this Patriot defense is right up there with San Francisco's and Dallas. And this game will come down to that, because if you could protect with Tua, Greeny, as you've talked about, boy, they're explosive. But I think Mac Jones is better than people realize. I like New England in a really close game.
On the other side, just easy scores. Tyreek Hill continues to prove that he's one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in all of football. The explosive plays. You can contain this offense only for so long. And when you go in zone, Tua's still throwing strikes. And in man-to-man, he's throwing strikes. I don't know if they have the personnel to keep up or the team speed on the defensive side of the ball.
I'll tell you right now, I think if Miami's quarterback is healthy throughout the entire season, they would be my pick to go to the Super Bowl from the jam-packed AFC. And don't forget, you can watch Get Up every weekday morning on ESPN between 8 and 10 a.m. Eastern. And stay tuned for more exclusive Get Up content on YouTube as well.